I've just finished reading John Adams, a biography by John T. Morse, published in 1899. Chapter 1, Youth and Diplomacy. John Quincy Adams was born in Braintree, Massachusetts on July 11, 1767. As a child, he began keeping a diary, which he maintained until the final days of his life, and this diary records meeting every important man of that age. Adams was always an ambitious, honest, well-read, cool-headed, and willful man, but he had few friends. As a teenager, he was able to travel to foreign courts as his father's secretary. Adams attended Harvard, and at age 23 he became a practicing lawyer in Boston. In 1794, Washington appointed him ambassador to the Netherlands. Shortly after his arrival, the French invaded, and it became the Batavian Republic, but John decided to remain there. Once his father became president in 1797, he was appointed ambassador to Prussia. In 1802, he was elected to the Massachusetts State Senate. In 1803, the Massachusetts State Legislature elected him to the U.S. Senate. He was a member of the Federalist Party, but always independent-minded. The other U.S. senators initially hated him, but over the years his standing improved. As American seamen were forcibly taken by British ships, the Federalist Party preferred a closer alliance with Britain, but Adams disagreed with this party. After the British attacked the USS Chesapeake, Adams supported an embargo, and this caused the Federalists to hate him even more. In 1809, the Massachusetts State Legislature replaced him with a different senator. In 1809, Adams was appointed minister to Russia by 4th President James Madison. Russia treated him kindly, and he participated in their social events. In 1804, Adams served on the commission in the War of 1812 between Britain and the U.S. The British made bold demands, but both sides eventually agreed to sign the Treaty of Ghent. From 1815 to 1817, Adams served as minister to Britain. Chapter 2, Secretary of State and President. In 1817, Adams was appointed Secretary of State by 5th President James Monroe. Washington, D.C. was an uncomfortable city. This was the era of good feelings, without any great policy disputes. There was one dispute with Spain regarding Louisiana's borders, and Adams' rivals hoped he would fail. Ultimately, the 1821 treaty granted Florida to the U.S. As South American colonies sought independence, Adams pursued the Monroe Doctrine that the U.S. should not intervene nor allow Europeans to interfere. Adams did not like Henry Clay, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, nor Georgia Senator William H. Crawford, though he was initially supportive of General Andrew Jackson. In 1824, these 4 men became candidates for the presidency. Adams made no public campaign. The Electoral College gave Jackson the most votes, but no majority. The House of Representatives voted and elected Adams, who then gave Henry Clay the Secretary of State post. Some supporters of Andrew Jackson alleged that Adams was part of some corrupt bargain. The U.S. Congress became divided between the National Republicans, who supported Adams, and the Democrats, mostly in the South, who supported Jackson. His 4 years in office were largely uneventful. He appointed the best people to government jobs regardless of their party affiliation. In 1828, Jackson received 178 votes and Adams received 83. He returned home to Quincy, Massachusetts, and spent a lot of time reading. Chapter 3, then, House of Representatives. Adams was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1830. He was a combative, independent orator. He supported President Jackson during the nullification crisis and in collecting unpaid debts from France, though they often didn't get along that well. Adams was anti-slavery and introduced many petitions to end slavery, but these were not admitted for debate due to the gag rule. He argued slavery could be abolished by treaty, and he objected to the annexation of Texas, a slave state, into the Union. He even attempted to introduce a petition from slaves, and another petition to peacefully dissolve the Union between free and slave states. In December 1844, he finally succeeded in overturning the gag rule. In 1846, he was struck with paralysis, but recovered and returned to the House 3 months later. In 1848, he fell over in the House chamber and was moved to the Speaker's chamber, where he died on February 23rd, aged 80. There are no modern statesmen quite like John Quincy Adams. He was verbally and strategically a force to be reckoned with. He followed his convictions even when it cost him a lot of popularity. Compared to him, our senators today speak in dumb cliches. They rarely think about greater strategies, and they move like a school of fish in the same direction. We could all benefit from having another John Quincy Adams around.